Genesis 1:1. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. When we come to the Bible, we need to know whose book it is. A lot of people want to start with the Gospel of John or the book of Revelation. When I was young, that's what you did. You taught everyone the Gospel of John and the book of Revelation. John because it was easy. Revelation because it was tomorrow's headlines. That was the idea. And often we did not know who God was. In the beginning, there was a beginning. Trick question I asked my student, you've asked yours. What are the three things God created in the beginning? Heaven, earth, and time. We have a God who exists beyond time. Now, think about that for a while.
No.
Good. Yeah, no. When we try to do that, the best we can get is some kind of frozen stasis, but that's not God. God's mind was active, alive. The three persons of the Trinity communicated with one another, planned, decreed, loved, and yet they did not do it in what we know as time. Time, history, is God's creation. He began it, He planned it, He orchestrates it, He moves it about by His providence. He's not bound by its conditions. He does not exist partly here in time and partly there in time. He's every when, as He's everywhere. He's not bound by space. Space is also His creation. Paul tells us in Romans 8 that height and depth are creatures. Now try imagining the universe without three dimensions, without two dimensions, without one dimension. Well, there's no universe, and that's the point. There was a time when there was no universe, when there was no spatial extension, and yet there was God. God existed in Himself. And the universe, space, is His creation, and He is not partly here and partly there. He's everywhere all the time with His whole being. He's all here. We're not. If God were only partly someplace, then we would go where He partly was and hide from Him because of our sins. But there's no place to escape God. Though I make my bed in hell, thou art there. Not, I'll find your big toe or something, but all of God, because God's not bound by space. And of course, God created matter. He created the earth. There were no other gods beside Him, no other forces involved in this. God did not have to yield to some other opinion. There was no co-author. Today, in some circles in Christianity, although it seems to be going out of favor right now, there's kind of this idea that God does His thing and then we do ours, and then God waits to see what we're going to do, and then, oh, good move, I'll do this, sort of joint role-playing or something. And that's not what the Bible's teaching. God is in complete sovereign control of history. Now, when you start the Bible with this sort of God, it's going to affect everything you teach and everything you believe.